War Axe is Dyrroth's core piece of equipment that will further lower enemies' defense if combined with his second skill. In the mid to late game, Dyrroth can continue to build equipment like Hunter Strike or Blade of the Heb Disease for more defense reduction, or switch to defensive equipment to improve his survivability. At level 1, we recommend upgrading Dyrroth's first skill. Focus on his first skill and use his second skill as a backup. Dyrroth's first skill deals more damage, which will improve his farming and laning abilities.
Double kill.
In the laning phase, Dyrroth should save up his rage before diving the enemy with his enhanced second skill. He can then use the skill's second strike to lower the enemy's defense, allowing him to deal more damage with his follow-up attacks. Dyrroth's ultimate deals extra damage when the target has lost more HP, so it's best to cast it on heroes with lower HP. Dyrroth's high melee burst damage works best with heroes with single target CC, such as Franco and Kaja. Because Dyrroth has good chasing abilities and good melee burst damage, he is strong against heroes with poor mobility, such as Gord and Hanabi. Also because Dyrroth is a melee hero and can only deal damage in close combat. This makes him weak against heroes with slow and kiting abilities, such as Vexana and Beleric. In the laning phase, Dyrroth can use his second skill to close in on the enemy, and cast it again to lower their physical defense. He can then follow up with his basic attacks and first skill to poke them. In teamfights, Dyrroth should use his second skill to close the gap with the enemy, then use his basic attacks and first skill to deal damage, and finish off the low HP heroes with his ultimate. Passive Wrath of the Abyss. When Dyrroth gains enough rage from his attacks, he will enhance his first and second skills with the power of the Abyss. Dyrroth releases a Circle Strike after every 2 basic attacks, dealing damage to enemies in range and regenerating HP based on the damage dealt. Circle Strike hits also reduce the cooldown of his first and second skills. First skill, Burst Strike. Dyrroth unleashes a Burst Strike in the target direction, dealing physical damage and slowing enemies. The enhanced Burst Strike has a longer range and deals more damage. Its slowing effect is also doubled. Second skill, Spectre Step. Dyrroth dashes in a target direction and stops when he hits an enemy target, dealing damage to the enemy. His second skill can be used again to release a Fatal Strike on the target enemy, dealing damage and reducing the target's physical defense for a short time. With the enhanced Spectre Step, the Fatal Strike deals more damage to the enemy with extra slow effects and physical defense reduction. Ultimate Abyssum Strike. With Dyrroth's ultimate, he quickly charges up and deals a powerful blow, dealing a fixed amount of damage plus a percentage of the target's lost HP to enemies along the way, and slows them for a short time. We recommend the Vengeance battle spell for Dyrroth. Since Dyrroth can play as an EXP lane hero, Vengeance can provide the extra survivability and laning power he needs. We also recommend the Retribution battle spell, because Dyrroth's skills also make him a good jungler. Retribution will help him kill the creeps more effectively. In the early game, Dyrroth should focus on farming and only engage the enemy when his rage buff is active. In teamfights in mid to late games, Dyrroth should look for opportunities to dive on enemy back row heroes using his first and second skills to deal damage. Dyrroth's ultimate has a longer cast time, so it's better to use it right after enemy heroes have cast their dash or blink.